Hey there. So if you haven't heard, a man by the name of Alex Jones, a famous conspiracy theorist known for his, let's say, eccentric outbursts,
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap.
just got banned from YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, and Spotify. Alex Jones is an absolutely massive influencer, boasting over 2.4 million subscribers before he was kicked off YouTube. Now, to put that in perspective, Steven Crowder, arguably the largest right-wing political commentator on YouTube, is also sitting currently, at time of recording, around 2.4 million subscribers. Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire, which is another massive right-wing political commentary channel, is only sitting at 800,000. Alex Jones is so big that the President of the United States once went on his show. He is arguably the biggest conspiracy theorist that exists. So that should give you some perspective on how massive of a creator he actually is. And needless to say, Alex Jones being banned from all of these platforms sparked a massive controversy around the nature of free speech in the digital age. And I wanted to weigh in my opinion on that. But before we can get into all of that, we first need to go and correct some misinformation. And this all revolves around why Alex Jones got banned in the first place. People have been saying that Alex Jones got banned for his thoughts on 9/11 or Sandy Hook or even the Parkland shooting that happened recently. But in actuality, Alex Jones was banned because he was spreading hate speech and threats. More specifically, he was banned for his thoughts on transgender people and Muslims. Facebook in particular citing his dehumanizing language when he spoke about these people. Now, I wish I could show you the clips and words that got Alex Jones banned, but unfortunately I can't. And that's because no one actually knows what got Alex Jones banned. Sure, people and websites have gone on to speculate what they think might have been dinged as hate speech, but no one knows for sure. And that's the first part of this massive problem. No one actually knows what got Alex Jones banned, so no one can accurately judge whether he committed hate speech or not. Furthermore, the greater YouTube community is left unaware of what words or phrases they should use in order to avoid committing hate speech. Cycling back to the first point I made about Alex Jones being removed without any clear evidence being presented against him, this is less concerning in the context of Alex Jones himself. It is still wrong because how can anyone accurately judge a person when they don't know what they did wrong? And furthermore, how can someone defend themselves when they don't even know the evidence that's being used against them? But the much larger problem arises if YouTube ever decides to do this again. Say for example, Ben Shapiro is banned from YouTube. If that were to happen, I think YouTube would have to explain themselves a lot more than they do right now. Ben Shapiro, in my opinion, is not even close to as crazy as Alex Jones is. In my opinion, Ben Shapiro isn't even close to the same level that Alex Jones is at, and it really won't. And they will get less lenient. And while YouTube might get some lenience with the claim, that Alex Jones has committed hate speech, they really won't get that if they claim Ben Shapiro has committed hate speech. Ben Shapiro has said far less outlandish statements, and if YouTube claimed that he had committed hate speech, it would be far from an open and shut case. A proper argument could most likely be made to keep him on the platform and show that he didn't break the terms of service. But to have that argument, we would need to know the evidence that's being presented against him. And that's why it's so important that YouTube shows why they are trying to kick these creators off the platform. To ban someone without properly giving evidence as to why you're banning them is, in my opinion, unjust. Now let's move on to the second claim I stated at the start. Now this matters less in the context of Alex Jones, but it matters quite a bit if YouTube ever decides to ban anyone again. Let's use that example of Ben Shapiro again. Ben Shapiro, in my opinion, while definitely not centrist, is far less right than Alex Jones. And I could actually end up saying some of the things that he said, which could result in me getting banned, which deeply troubles me. Say, for example, Ben Shapiro was banned for saying that being transgender is a mental illness. But no one was ever told that Ben Shapiro was banned for that reason. Well, how is anyone else supposed to know that they are breaking hate speech rules? Hate speech has no defined definition and is open to interpretation. And we don't know YouTube's interpretation of what counts as hate speech. That's why they need to show us what they deem hate speech so we can avoid it. Deeming a popular conservative opinion hate speech without telling said conservatives that it is hate speech is, in my opinion, a trap set up by YouTube to get other conservatives off the platform. Now, I'm not arguing that the choice to keep silent on what got Alex Jones removed is necessarily a ploy by YouTube to censor conservatives. There are definitely legitimate reasons why YouTube might choose to not tell anyone why they kicked Alex Jones off the platform. I'm just saying that the choice to remain silent on what got Alex Jones kicked off the platform will end up hurting other conservatives, whether the intent is for it to or not. And also, YouTube not telling anyone why someone specifically got kicked off the platform is just an opening for them to theoretically kick off anyone without ever having to fully justify themselves, which, in my opinion, sets a very bad precedent. This whole situation sets a horrible precedent going forward if YouTube ever decides to ban anyone. It really makes me worry about the future of politics on YouTube and whether YouTube will just end up creating a cesspool for the exact same kind of idea. But that being said, only time will tell how that whole part of the situation plays out. Now let's get onto what I will consider part two of this Alex Jones controversy. So, as I've clarified, Alex Jones was banned for hate speech from YouTube. And this has sparked a debate about whether Alex Jones should have been banned for this. And I both agree and disagree in a way. Allow me to explain. So, I agree that Alex Jones should have been banned from the platform. He agreed to the terms of service, he knew the rules, and he undoubtedly broke the rules. So, he should be subject to the same punishment as anyone else would be. YouTube shouldn't give people any kind of special treatment, even if they belong to a minority. The rules should be concrete. The part I disagree with YouTube is the terms of services itself. I believe that hate speech should be removed from the terms of services. I believe that there should be no limits on what people can say, hate speech and all. No limits. We should welcome people to speak their minds, so if they have what we believe to be an incorrect opinion, we can then have the chance to change it. If no one had any way of voicing the bad ideas that they believed, people would have no way of ever correcting them or know that these bad ideas even exist. And that's why I think we should remove hate speech from the terms of services, so we can have a conversation with these people. And this leads pretty well into the next argument. Does banning Alex Jones from YouTube limit his freedom of speech? I think pretty obviously it does. YouTube is a massive platform, and it's the best way to find like-minded people and grow an audience. Alex Jones being kicked off the platform will obviously make it harder for him to spread his message and express his views. Now, just to be clear, I think it should be illegal for YouTube to ban people from their platform. I just think YouTube should realize how important they are to free speech in the digital age, and that they should come to their own conclusion that hate speech should no longer be in the terms of services. But I think YouTube needs to realize how important they are to freedom of speech in the digital age and fix their terms of services. This way, everyone can be in the conversation and we can correct ideas that we deem. Last minute update. So, I was recording this video, and since this video is basically about Alex Jones in a sense, I decided it would be fair to include it in this video. So, as you may have heard, Alex Jones got caught, allegedly, watching transgender porn. This all happened when Alex Jones was... And as he went to close the tab, which revealed all his tabs, keen-eyed viewers spotted this. Now this is a genre of porn known as T-Babe, or transgender babe. More specifically, Alex Jones was caught watching a video called Naughty T-Babe Marissa Minx Relieved of Cock Hunger by Stud. Now obviously I can't show that here because all sorts of reasons, but I can link it in the bottom, I guess. So it might be there. Yeah, so it might be down there in case you want to research. I don't know. Citations are important. Now, before we go into the public reaction of this, we should first go into Alex Jones' This was Alex Jones' response when he was confronted live on air during InfoWars.
Yes. And also, what about the trans porn on your phone, Alex? Or you were going to talk about that?
Say that again?
Trans porn on your phone. That's all they keep talking about. And
You know, I saw a couple news articles about that. It's ridiculous. I was like looking up some reporter we're trying to hire today and punched in some number and it popped up porn on my phone. Everybody's had porn pop up on their phones hundreds of times. So I'm sitting there with a phone on air showing it to everybody because I couldn't get a URL up in the studio. And then like something pops up and like, oh my God. And I looked at it. It wasn't the news blurted out because there was nothing there. They blurred it to then say something was there. Then you went to it was some porn menu. I probably had porn menus pop up 500 times on my phone. So I appreciate your call. I mean, it's insane, ladies and gentlemen. There's two types of people that look at porn and people that lie about it. But I wasn't looking at porn on my phone. I don't take phones on air that I look at porn on. And so I saw all that. I didn't respond to it. I mean, if I respond to half the attacks on me, it'll...
Now, let's address Alex Jones' first excuse that he was looking up a journalist and entered in some random numbers and ended up on this website. So, his excuse makes it sound like he was entering a URL and then he got the numbers wrong at the end and then he ended up on this porn site. Which doesn't make a lot of sense because URLs, when you enter them, you enter in the website name and then usually the number weird bit comes after specifying what page you want on the website. So if he had been entering a URL, it wouldn't make much sense how he ended up on that website. Alex Jones' second excuse was that it was a pop-up porn menu, he calls it, right, and not specifically a video. Now, this isn't really true. In the picture that they found, or the tab that they found, it had the specific name of the video in it, which would lead you to believe that it was the video he was watching, not just some random porn menu. So, all that being said, it seems very likely that Alex Jones did watch transgender porn. And now, after we've gotten all of that out of the way, we can move on to the response. So, in my opinion, the response to this whole situation has been very disappointing. Well, I guess I shouldn't say disappointed. I didn't expect anything different from this situation. It's just, it kind of saddened me that this is how it all played out. In my opinion, in this whole situation, Alex Jones is a sympathetic figure in this specific context. And before you yell at me a comment, just hear my way of seeing this out. And also, before we get to my whole ideas, we should make one thing clear. I believe that Alex Jones 100% believes what he's saying. So when he says things like being transgender is a mental illness, it's disgusting, it's gross, I 100% believe that he believes it. And I don't think that he is playing a character in any way. I think these are his beliefs. So keeping that in mind, could you imagine being Alex Jones? Waking up every day and both believing that being transgender is a mental illness while also getting off on T-Bay porn. That must be a hellish existence. Imagine how much he must hate himself. And that's why I don't think this is an appropriate time to be mocking him. And I know that the argument to you, well, he said those horrible things about transgender people, and yeah, he did say it, but that doesn't give you the right to be horrible back. You don't simply get to sink as low as your opposition just because they did it first. Society can't function like that. You should treat people with respect even if they might not deserve it, or they might politically disagree with you. And even if you don't want to be nice to Alex Jones just for the sake of being nice, there are other reasons to not act in this manner, in this situation. This moment functions as a great way to teach Alex Jones. Teach him that people can't help the way they're born, and he's a perfect example of that. And maybe we could show Alex Jones that it's okay to be who you are and bring him a little closer to moderate views. Well, in conclusion, Alex, if you do ever see this, I hope that you don't hate yourself for being the way you are. You shouldn't hate yourself just because you feel good, and you're not a horrible person for enjoying this. Thanks for watching this video in its entirety if you did. That's much appreciated. I just like to talk about something that happened a little earlier in the video. It was the whole like, oh, these are their sub count number things. So when I was writing the script, their sub counts were lower, and then they got higher when I actually went to go get pictures of them for the video. So, yeah, don't believe anything I say in this video. Fact check it, right? Don't take anything for granted. If you disagree with something, leave it in the comments. I get like one comment per video, so I will read it. Yeah.